Welcome. Another trucker, another day, another dollar. Stack or starve. That is the theme for this video. And really, stack or starve is really just the theme to survive in trucking. You got to stack your money or you will starve. That's a fact. One of the first mistakes a lot of us make coming into the owner-operator game is that we think that we can keep the same spending habits that we had before coming into being an owner-operator. Or when you become an owner-operator and you start seeing those checks and you start seeing that those checks are some of the most money that you ever made, you think you got room to play. And you really don't. Because if you, especially if you finance a truck, whether you finance a used truck or a new truck, you starting off in the hole already. You already in the red. And this is why I say titles don't matter. Company, lease op, owner op, independent op, none of those titles matter. It's all about the money. Like I said in previous video, trucking, to survive in trucking, it's all about mindset and money management. So when you start off, especially if you finance the truck, however you did it, you already starting off in the red. And you starting off below a company driver. If you was a company driver and you just hopped into owner-operator position, company driver, you just went down. Because as an owner-operator, you got to build your operation back up. You got to get back up to the point to where you got your head a little bit above water, and then you got to keep working your way up. You know what I'm saying? With whatever goals you're trying to achieve or whatever vision you got. Hopefully you do got a plan. Hopefully you do got a vision. Hopefully you do got a script that you living by. You know what I'm saying? But that's one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they come into this owner-op game. You know, you think that because you're making more money, you got money to spend and play with and bullshit with, and no, you don't. That's a mistake that I made. I don't think my mistake was really too costly, because my spending habits from a company driver to an owner operator, they was the same. You know what I'm saying? I live within my means, and of course, you know what I'm saying? I've been doing the right thing. All the time I've been a company driver, if I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing with my money, I wouldn't have been able to get into the position to be an owner operator. But I made the mistake of thinking that I can keep the same spending habits being a company driver going into being an owner operator. And really, when you become an owner operator, you know, just from my experience and looking back in retrospect, in my first full year, you need to be trying to stack up everything, and you need to be trying to stack up as much as you can quick as possible, because expenses are right around the corner. Breakdowns, they always around the corner. As we all know, if you ain't heard, it's not a matter of if your truck breaks down. It's only a matter of when. That's a fact. That is a indisputable fact. Your truck will break down, whether it's new, semi-old, or you bought it cash. These trucks break down. They are mechanical machines, and mechanical machines malfunction. So you got to be prepared for that. And that's the whole point. Like, if you coming into trucking as a company driver, and you know you got it in your mind that you want to get a truck one day, you need to be stacking from day one. You got credit issues, you need to be cleaning your credit shit up and getting your credit up together. Because that's another reason why a lot of people go into these lease deals through these companies. Now you come into the game however you got to come into it, man. Some people can make it work, But from what I hear, man, a lot of people, they don't become so successful when they lease trucks through a company. You got your credit right, you got your money right. It's the best thing that you can do is go to a dealership. You know what I'm saying? You can get a better rate with the payments. And you can take, you know what I'm saying? You can take that truck wherever you want to take it to. If things don't work out with one company, you can always bounce with that truck. But of course, you know, if you lease through a company, you can't, if you ain't paid for that truck and things ain't going the way you wanted to go to, you can't do nothing with that truck. You got to give it back to the company. So it's all different type of ways to skin a cat. But the main important thing is being prepared. You got to be prepared, fam. You have to be. You know what I'm saying? Don't rush to be no owner op. If you're a company driver, you know you want to get a truck, man. Kick back. Drive. Stack your bread up. Get your credit right. Get your credit right and tight. That's what you should be focusing on as a company driver if you trying to get your own truck. Because once you get your own truck, you in a whole nother ball game. And it's serious. It's serious. Like I said in the previous video, man, once you finance that truck, man, you are in business. You a business person. You running a business the same way as the people who own these franchise restaurants, fast food restaurants, store, whatever type of business. It's the same thing. As I'm learning that now, being an owner operator myself. You know, you don't just come, being an owner operator is not just a title like, oh, I moved up to owner operator and I'm making more money and I can, no, you a business and you got to treat it like that. You have to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? But as far as me, my spending habits didn't break me. You know, I spent a little money on myself. Wasn't doing nothing too much outside of what I was doing when I was a company driver, but I just realized, like, I don't really regret nothing because, like I say, I always save more than what I spend. But still, like, I just see how deep this owner op shit can really get into things that can happen on the road. You know what I'm saying? Them storms, ain't nobody escaping those storms. You're not escaping nothing. It's all about your preparedness. And you have to come into this owner-operator game with some real money put aside, fam. Not no $5,000, $3,500 put up for no maintenance. No, you need at least $20,000. We talking numbers. Just gonna throw some numbers out there, and I don't even think $20,000 is enough. Anywhere between 20 and 30. It all depends on the situation. You know what I'm saying? But you need a nice piece of change. And when I say 20, between 20 and 30, I'm talking about you need that stacked up after however you got your truck, whether you financed it and you put money down on it or whether you bought a truck cash. You're going to need anywhere coming out at least 20 to 30,000 put up, at least. Not coming in with, you got 20,000, I'm going to put this money down on the truck and all I got is 10,000 left. No, you need at least, I probably, you know, I'm gonna probably just say 30. Just because of the way the inflation is now and the way the economy is. But typically anywhere between 20 to 30, man, you're going to need that. Seriously. So while you a company driver, because everybody don't want to be no owner operator, and this, you know, I'm just speaking to the people who are thinking about getting their own truck. And this is what you had to think about. You know, another thing that kind of trips me out a little bit, man, I've heard people break down how they save for maintenance and repairs, and they say they save cents by the miles. You know, oh, I save 10 cents a mile. I save 20 cents a mile for maintenance and repairs. So let's just say if you ran 3,000 miles, which is typical, I would assume that's good mileage, especially for like driving refrigerated or flatbed, 3,000 miles in a week, I would assume that's pretty good mileage, right? So let's just say you save 20 cents a mile after running 3,000 miles. That's $600. And I can tell you right now, for a lot of your typical breakdown costs, $600 ain't shit. Look, what happens? What happens? You ran 3,000 miles, and when you get your check for that 3,000 miles that you ran, you only saved 6,000. I mean, you only saved $600 from saving 20 cents a mile, and you have a breakdown, to where you got to pay for towing. $600 alone is not even going to get you towing. You got to get towed somewhere, depending on how far it is, and most of the time, just the way this shit happens, you're going to be, towing bill going to be $1,000 and up, period. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're getting towed down the street, and you'll be lucky for the situation to happen like that. But a lot of these breakdowns with these trucks, man, they always happen at the wrong time, in the most inconvenience, in the most times of inconvenience. So, I mean, yeah, if you saving 20 cents a mile, if you doing that and your truck can give you some nice runs, and that's depending on if you can get the loads, and your truck running strong for a month and a half, 2 months, okay. But you can't think like that though, man. You can't take the money that you think you're gonna make for granted. This is something that I've learned, and this is something that I recently had to internalize in my own mind. It's check by check. And my advice, as I'm telling myself this, I'm telling this to you, you got to save up everything. Everything. The only thing that saved me, and why I'm still in the game right now, because I came in the game prepared and I still stayed stacking when I became an owner operator. You know what I'm saying? As far as my spending habits was never over the top. But I just realized, like, damn, just what I went through in the year 2023, like, man, coming out the gate, man, you need every penny. You need every penny. You need it all until you can, you know what I'm saying, get past that hump and get you enough money stacked up to where you feel like you got enough money to cover anything that can go wrong with the truck. Then at that point, you know what I'm saying, you could, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is you into, whatever it is you want to buy, I mean, you still have to live within your means, but it's just levels to this, man, and it's levels. It's levels. So my advice, and I don't like telling people what to do, but I'm just speaking from experience, fam. All that I'm going to save 10 or 20 cents a mile type of shit, no. You need to save everything. When you get your check, whatever expenses that you got at home, hopefully you ain't got no high overhead, but whatever expenses you got to pay for in your personal life, after that, stack up everything. None of this 10 cent, 20 cent a mile shit. No, because I can guarantee you a lot of people who came into the game like that, I'm just going to put a certain amount of cent per mile away. No, stack up everything. Stack up everything as quick as possible. You hear me? As quick as possible. That's the name of the game. Stack or starve. But, who am I? I'm just another trucker. Y'all be easy, man.